On Wall Street Monday, shares of JPMorgan Chase lost more than 3% as financial stocks fell across the board.
And this morning, Chairman and CEO Jamie Dimon faces stockholders at the bank's annual meeting in Tampa. Rebecca Jarvis is there. Rebecca, good morning.
Good morning, Charlie.
And so what do these shareholders want to know from Jamie Dimon?
I think the number one thing they want to know, Charlie, is about Jamie Dimon himself and what was his role in this $2 billion loss. Was he asleep at the wheel, unaware of the risks that the bank was taking on, or worse, was he aware and knowingly complicit in the risks that the bank was taking on? And that's where shareholders who will be in that meeting in the building behind me later today, they tell me that that's where they're going to see the sparks fly in the meeting today, because they want answers. And so far, they're not content with what they've received. Just a handful of days ago, Jamie Dimon was calling this loss, which hadn't become a $2 billion loss. He was saying it was a tempest in a teapot. And as we've seen, obviously, it was much greater than that. And they want to know from the leader of this company whether or not his awareness of what's taking place is there and is sufficient to continue into the future. Now, nobody at this point is calling for Jamie Dimon's head, but they certainly want to understand and appreciate where that mind is right now.
So is there expected to be, Rebecca, out of the meeting today, beyond the sparks that you mentioned, is there expected to be any sort of request or change requested by the shareholders?
Yeah, shareholders tell me that the number one thing that could change as a result of today's meeting, in addition to learning details of what Jamie Dimon did or did not know, is an actionable item that is on the ballot for voting, and that is whether or not the chairman and CEO title will continue to be held by one man. That is Jamie Dimon. Other banks have split these two roles up in the past, and a number of shareholders have told me they would feel more comfortable seeing the chairman and CEO roles split. For example, Citigroup has done this with their chairman and CEO roles. JPMorgan's argument, on the other hand, is that having the two roles together held by one individual allows for the bank to run more smoothly. And we should say here that the bank has been profitable, $19 billion in profits last year. So when you think in the context of that, what this $2 billion loss means, it is a small portion of their overall profitability.
And also, Rebecca, when you look at what the board has said, they seem to be very supportive of keeping both of those jobs in the same hands.
Yes, they are 100% behind Jamie Dimon, Charlie.
Rebecca Jarvis at the shareholders meeting.